and friends. My purpose today was to go into the question of how the money that has gone out of the country can be brought back. The book that I have released today deals with one circumstance in which a lot of money has gone abroad. But money has been consistently going. And today they say $500 billion, which is about more than 50% of our GDP. Much more than 50%, maybe about 65% of our GDP is today in foreign countries, in foreign banks. 2G has become symbolic of what is wrong in the country. Most people don't even know what 2G is. During the election campaign, I was going by car from Namakkal to Coimbatore. And on the way, I was stopped by an old lady who asked me whether I was Subramanian Swamy. I said yes. She says, 2G udadungo. So I said, 2G na puriyuma. She said, adela onnu theriyadhu. Romba mosama nadandhirukku ithana theriyum. So it is sort of filtered that way. I don't blame her because once Manmohan Singh was asked, what is 2G? He said, Sonia Ji and Rahul Ji. Today, when I speak to you about how to bring back black money from abroad, I will organize my talk in 4 parts. First, what is black money and why is it created? 2, how does it travel abroad? 3, how does this money actually harm the country? Is it just your money going out, or is there a multi-dimensional harm to the country? And 4, how to bring it back. These are the 4 aspects I will deal with. And in the course, I'll try to illustrate through this 2G example. Now, what is black money? It is actually cash payment to a recipient in a transaction, which is not recorded in any account, any legitimate account, or at least, if I may say, audited account. It may be accounted for in the diary of some people, like Raja had a diary, who all got it. And that diary has still not come out. It is lying in the CBI locker. It will come out. There was a Hawala diary once upon a time which created a lot of problems. Now, when you say this, that this is a cash payment to a recipient, there are 2 parties in it, the giver and the taker. The giver knows he is giving unaccounted money, unaudited money, and the taker also knows that he is taking money which is not to be accounted. Now, if you give money, supposing I have black money, and I go to a fruit shop and buy some fruit, and hand that money to the shopkeeper is not a participant. He does not know that this is black money. And he normally conducts his transaction in cash. So you have to make this distinction. Because this Congress party recently said Baba Ramdev receives money in black money because he accepts cash. Well, all sadhus accept dakshina. And if all Swamis accept it, then you and I can also accept it. But that money, how would Baba Ramdev know that it is black money? He audits it, it goes to the income tax, it may be kept in a trust. So I think we have to be very clear that there must be two parties, the giver and the taker, and both should know that this is black money. Now, sometimes both parties know this, so the black money comes and then it becomes white money. So black money is not necessarily a stock of money, but it's also money which keeps flowing into the economy, becoming black, then white, then white, then black. For instance, an industrialist gives a political party donation in cash. The reason he gives donation in cash is he says, if I give a check and you are the opposition party, then the ruling party will trace it and then will harass me with income tax and other things. Why did you give to the opposition party? So I don't want any trace left. So here I am giving you in cash. The income tax law says that if you get a donation of less than 20,000 rupees in cash, I think it is now being raised to 40,000, then you don't have to disclose the source from whom you got the money. So if somebody wants to give 1 lakh rupees, he gives 20,000 5 times, so that there is no record of it. The political party puts it in the bank, and under section 313 of the income tax, the political party does not have to pay any income tax. It just has to say that this money is a donation and the amount was less than 20,000. And then it can issue checks against it to the printer who brings the poster, to the man who brings the pandal. It can give checks on it. So there you see black going into an account and then becoming white through a check system. So therefore this is not an easy subject, black money, because this black money goes in and out into white and black, white and black. But when it goes abroad and it is deposited in a Swiss bank account, say, Switzerland is not now anymore the only country which has secret accounts. There are 77 countries which have secret banking secrecy for deposits made without any proof that this money has been legitimately obtained. So supposing I take the example of Switzerland, money is deposited in your account. That is a stock. It remains as a stock. And it does not come out of it. It is being kept there. In fact, Indians are so insecure that they keep money in Switzerland banks and then they don't even keep a beneficiary name. And when they die, it becomes part of Switzerland. And one banking chairman of Switzerland told me that if the Indians were not there, our economy will go bankrupt. For so many people, money becomes part of this budget. So this is one, and therefore, this black money is created by a number of ways. In a transaction, supposing I am buying a house, to get the tax lower, I undervalue the property and pay the remaining in cash. I am exporting or importing. I understate the price of export, overstate the price of imports. This is called over-invoicing and under-invoicing. That is the way black money is created. I don't want to pay taxes, so I falsely declare my income is lower than it is, and the remaining part I keep in cash. So black money is created largely because, certainly in India it began, because we had laws which were encouraging this kind of thing. After independence, Mahatma Gandhi and Sardar Patel have said, let us not adopt the Soviet economic model because it doesn't suit us. But Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated, Sardar Patel died of natural causes, and Nehru became all in all, and he was fascinated by this Soviet model. And this Soviet model, everything was controlled. Of course, the Soviet model was totally unsuited for us because it was based on the assumption that money will be extracted from agriculture and invested in heavy industrialization. But the British had already extracted all the money from our agriculture. There was nothing left to extract. And that is why soon, very soon, we had a crisis in agriculture, which fortunately two Tamilians, one Subramanian and one Swamy, they brought economic revolution, fruitful revolution. And we were saved. But the Soviet model lowered our growth rate because there was no incentive to work. There was wealth tax, there was income tax, wealth tax. If you added the two, after a certain level of income, you were paying more than 100% of your income as tax. Who will pay? Rich people and income tax officer underpaid. So naturally the rich people will give money to the income tax and get their accounts cleared. In fact, till 1996, Dhirubhai Ambani did not pay income tax at all. And G.D. Birla's income was only 18,000 rupees per year. A new breed of chartered accountants came, no offense to the chartered accountants of the audience, who created this accounting system, this double accounting system, which ultimately created black money. Soviet model now is scaled everywhere. I remember Namudripal once giving me a lecture saying that capitalism is full of crises. I said, what about Soviet Union? He said, there's no unemployment in Soviet Union, there's no inflation in Soviet Union, there's no poverty in Soviet Union. In 1991, I told Namudripal, now there is no Soviet Union also. It is broken up into 16 countries. Uzbekistan, Lithuania, everybody has become independent. And all is now is left is with Russia. But yet people talked about the Hindu rate of growth. It has nothing to do with the Hindu rate of growth. It was the Soviet rate of growth. And in 1991, I had become minister and we had this huge crisis of foreign exchange. So at that time, I prepared the blueprints. Unfortunately, Chandrasekhar government fell. Then Narasimha Rao came. And Narasimha Rao asked me to join his government on the condition that I would become member of Congress. I went and asked Parmacharya, shall I join Congress? He says, where do you went on? The Pachil Kove present. So I did not join. So I did not become a minister, but I became a cabinet rank chairman of the GATT Commission, and therefore I attended the cabinet meeting. I can say today that had it not been for Narasimha Rao, we would never have economic reform. The media gave the credit to Manmohan Singh. If Manmohan Singh was such a revolutionary, then how come as Prime Minister he can't bring any reform at all? I was a witness to the fact that every time Manmohan Singh became afraid that a certain reform will create problems, Narasimha Rao told him in my presence, go ahead, I will take the blame, you don't have to worry. Unfortunately, Narasimha Rao has been slandered, he has been abused,